Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. So there's going to be a great video. I'm excited. I want to tell you about Bitcoin Cash, its performances of late, its values run up. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why we're on this website, the Btcmyk.com website. Starting this video off, I want to talk about why maybe that is, what's happening with Bitcoin Cash. I want to talk about the Bitcoin MYK backed dollar, as well as talk about how the Bitcoin MYK project network distributors are going to be able to more readily, easily distribute the Bitcoin MYK token across cryptocurrency. As many of you well know, its relationship to the universal basic income. And so it's going to be a very interesting video today. All right. So let's start off. We're on the BitcoinNYK.com site. And the reason we're on the BitcoinNYK.com site, let's knock that out really fast here. As we can see some prices here, Bitcoin NYK, the Bitcoin Core at $31,284. But of course, we want to talk about the, I'm sorry, $38,361. Looked like it just had a big major pump come out of somewhere. But what we want to do is we want to focus on the Bitcoin Cash. What's happening with Bitcoin Cash is Bitcoin Cash takes off. It's over $600, and it looks like Bitcoin Cash is up a great deal since last week, and it's probably going to see Bitcoin Cash break $1,000, break $2,000, break $4,000. Very exciting. I'm very happy to see Bitcoin Cash taking off. So what's going on? Why is this maybe happening? So I had been saying for a long time now, don't sleep on Bitcoin Cash. So we have to kind of start from the beginning. But first, let's just talk about the BitcoinNYK.com site really quick. It's very important. The BitcoinNYK.com site, one of its features, it has many, but one of its features, you can do your research on your favorite cryptocurrencies. Now we know that CoinMarketCap, I believe it reached a value of over $800 million. I believe it was a deal done with Binance for $400 million, and I've heard a lot of different numbers, but one of the last ones I heard was something like $800 million. That's a lot of value, and it comes as it controls a lot of the price tracking on coins, and the network is built up with so many people depending on it for the research. But what if you could get value back for doing your cryptocurrency research? And that's part of what's happening with the BitcoinNYK.com site. You got to do your research. We suggest you make this your home page, BitcoinNYK.com. Set it to your home page. When you do your research, you're going to be earning our cryptocurrency, right? And we're going to get into a little bit why that's going to be so important and so relative to Bitcoin Cash here in a second. But Bitcoin Cash, if we go back to the early day history of Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Cash forked Bitcoin because, well, the original narrative was it was supposed to be the real Bitcoin, and then that what we call Bitcoin Core wasn't, right? Because what the idea was, venture capitalists had devised a plan to generate a lot of money from Bitcoin, making it a store of value, highly speculative device, and especially when it found out the limitations of Bitcoin, right? And then they also found out by making a store of value and not a currency, they can run the price up, they can make more money, and it was the idea of keeping it that way. So it's this big idea about it just being about trying to generate money for venture capitalists and rich people. And not so much about it being a useful utility project, right? So the fork happens, the war happens, Bitcoin Cash doesn't win, right? It ends up with something like 6%, the hash power of Bitcoin, and but it emerges a $1 billion coin in a quite an impressive project. And the reason I'm saying that is because Bitcoin Cash has shown the power, what it can do with being a global currency. And although this has happened on a small scale, you can see a great deal of potential in the use and economic prosperity of a currency in use around the globe, helping to distribute economic prosperity to people. And I'm not one of these like Bitcoin Cash zealots or something like that. It just so happens that fundamentally, looking at it on paper, Bitcoin Cash just made a lot of sense to me. Also, if you look at the early white paper of Bitcoin, what Bitcoin Cash is described as and how it interprets that, in my personal opinion, seems more in line with how Satoshi saw Bitcoin. Now, that's up for debate, and things do change. And the developers of Bitcoin, a lot of the Bitcoin supporters and maximalists have said that Bitcoin should never change, that the code should never be tampered with, and that's part of the idea. And I'm willing to investigate that further and explore that further. But when I look at the far-reaching potential effects of what can happen with actual use of a currency, global currency, how it can help people, how it can get in the hands of people and help to stabilize economies and so on and so forth. Uh, it does come back that a lot of what Bitcoin Cash has been doing has helped in aiding that and getting boots on the ground, setting up workshops, helping vendors to make this a useful cryptocurrency. Just made a lot of sense to me from a very non-biased view. Now, there are two other facets to the Bitcoin Cash situation, and that's going to also come into play with our project, Btcmyk.com. And that is, we'll just start there first since I keep mentioning that. The Bitcoin Cash Network has tokenized, of course, like many others, like Ethereum, the Waves Network. They have tokenized where you can now create tokens on the Bitcoin Cash Network. So this allows for more businesses, more projects to tokenize their projects and expand the Bitcoin Cash Network, making it more valuable, right? But that's only one part of it. The Bitcoin Cash blockchain has also began to do a lot of development. It's NFTs on it. It's great development and wallets. Many of the applications that people are going to find use in cryptocurrency with. And because of these developments, and because I believe Bitcoin Cash has done such a great job at it, it doesn't surprise me that it's going up in value while Bitcoin is actually going down. I think that use is going to win out, and I think it's going to resonate with people a lot. I think what's happening to Bitcoin right now is you got to be kind of careful. I feel it's now in institutional hands, right? It's in the institution's hands, and I believe it's going to be controlled a great deal in the custodial capacity, and I believe it's going to kind of go the way of gold a little bit. It's just going to be this thing that people use to kind of preserve capital. It's going to probably stabilize in price, and a lot of people are at the institutional level. A lot of rich people, a lot of wealthy people are going to use it to facilitate their funds. But I believe that value-wise, it's going to have very little economic prosperity to the majority of the world, who I believe the way Satoshi explains it was meant to help. And this very freedom-like idea, I think Bitcoin goes further away from that every day. Also, I think many of these institutions and other products are going to bet on not just Bitcoin, but they're going to be moving into Bitcoin, Cash, Ethereum, so on and so forth. Maybe your Litecoins, as it were. They're not going to just have one. There is going to be a basket of these cryptocurrencies, and they're going to be the major cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin Cash. Now, another reason this is important, the Bitcoin Cash and in its relation to all of this, is that it's, I believe, going to do that a lot better. I think it's going to resonate a lot better with the people, building a much bigger network, building a much bigger a network of vendors and merchants and branding and marketing. And I think that's going to fly over well with the people. Getting right back to the Btcmyk.com project, what is it that we do? I think we're best termed as a universal bridge cryptocurrency sidechain to Bitcoin that supplies universal basic income to over 80% of the globe. Universal basic income has become a hot topic, one that can protect the economy, that can save the economy. And the Bitcoin MYK cryptocurrency is rooted in the Bitcoin Cash blockchain. So if you're on Bitcoin Cash, you're able to get Bitcoin MYK for free. You can claim it. It's a very interesting project. It does simulate the Bitcoin halving as well. We'll try to get you here over on Memo so you can take a look at the project a little bit more in detail. Okay, so we're here on the Memo site, and this is actually Memo.cash is actually one of these developments that's happening on Bitcoin Cash. It is kind of this mix of a Twitter-like social media site, and you can tokenize on it. You can create your own communities. You can create a cryptocurrency. Very interesting. And what's happening, there are many of these projects that are tokenizing using the Simple Ledger Protocol, or what we call SLP tokens, on Bitcoin Cash. This is making the Bitcoin Cash network more useful. It's expanding the network. And you can see our project here, Bitcoin MYK, where you're able to do like these Twitter-like polls. You can be tipped in our cryptocurrency. And because we're a universal basic income project, you can see what you're seeing is the transactions that are taking place. Now, as you probably know, projects that do a lot of transactions, it means they're valuable because they have a lot of use. There are a lot of people using them. And the Bitcoin MYK project is starting to rise up through these cryptocurrencies. We believe that we're going to probably be the #1 SLP token on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain because of the universal basic income idea in it, feature in it. And to really put it into focus here, imagine a Bitcoin that provided universal basic income. Imagine that Bitcoin uses basically the value that it creates through its network to award the rest of the world a version of the network through universal basic income. That's basically the idea of Bitcoin MYK, as well. It could do other things. It's a multi-chain cryptocurrency, because that's another big issue with universal basic income. You're generally going to get a lot of people joining. You're going to crash the servers. You're going to crash the network, and it's going to be necessary to be able to be across many chains so that you can scale, and it can help to keep that from happening. Everybody's not on the same servers, as it were. That's what's happening with Bitcoin MYK. And people are using it, they're joining it. And we believe, because it's occurring on the Bitcoin Cash network, it's going to give Bitcoin Cash a great deal more value. And if you're a big Bitcoin Cash user or fan already, make sure that you get our cryptocurrency for free. We'll leave a link in the description where you can visit, and you'll be able to, basically get this cryptocurrency. It's traded against Bitcoin Cash. It's rooted in the Bitcoin Cash blockchain, okay? Before we get out of here, I want to show you one of the other great things about Bitcoin Cash that I feel is leading to this big run-up, and that is the wallets that are being created, the wallet integration. Okay, so we're here in Zapit Wallets, and Zapit Wallets is one of these great wallets that is on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain. And what I like about it is it's a very simple, easy wallet interface, and it could do many, many things. You can basically trade your favorite tokens on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain. You can do a plethora of things. There's so many features to this wallet. It's very difficult for me to name them all off the but we're going to just take you through it real quick. Some different things you can do with the Zapit wallet, trying to basically here bring up our token, BitcoinMYK.com, because I want to show you some cool things we could do with that. But as you can see down here, we have some of the Bitcoin MYK products listed, and amongst some are the Bitcoin MYK token, right? So what's great about these wallets is you have basically now, instead of having these long alphanumeric keys, you can create standard basic usernames. This is something that we weren't able to do on many cryptocurrency projects. It takes you like 30 seconds to get a wallet. Also, a feature that comes in a lot of handy, and it helps a lot, is, let me go to tokens. It's under the dividend tool, right? Where you could just basically airdrop all types of tokens. But in addition to that, you could just do a ton of a variety of things with this wallet. You could do international money transfers. You could do top up your wallets. You can withdraw to local currency, USD. You do payment partnership plans, and that's something done with the Zapit Wallet, because it also has a referral program, and you can handle orders and help the wallet in a variety of ways. Part of the Bitcoin Cash aim was to create these very excellent wallets that really made it the user experience quite easy for the end user. So when you go to token rewards, go to SOP token, and I'm going to try to show you here. I'm going to try to actually put my ID in there, and I'm just going to say we're going to send one just to show you how this works. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it's going to be fetching my token now, but you can see this really cool feature here where you're able to basically send your reward token. We got the reward token here. You can select whichever one, and it's going to send out dividend payments to everybody in the network that you choose in the Bitcoin Cash network, right? And that's very great. That's also very important to our network distributors. Really, really fast, the Btcmyk project. It basically, because it is a network that is based more on a participatory action, and it's less about proof of stake or proof of work. We call it the POP model, or the proof of participation model, right? And so basically we distribute this value across the network. Now we have network distributors. There are rewarded tokens based on their networks in their own individual perspective areas of the internet. And it could be content influencers. It could be musicians, artists, whatever it is. They're able to go into this system, send out our reward token that we give them, distribute it out however they see fit to their friends, families, and this decentralizes the network. And this is how the network distributors work. So you can also be a network distributor with the Btcmyk project. You sign up for our website. We'll leave contact information, find out how that works. But this dividend tool makes it easy for the entire network to distribute these tokens, all about growing our network, substantiating our network. So there's all these projects happening on the Bitcoin Cash network. There's all these great developments and building being done on it. It's no wonder why Bitcoin Cash is going up in value, and it's no wonder why I believe it's going to probably end up being the more true to form Bitcoin. Even if the community doesn't accept that, I think it's going to start to make a lot of sense to institutional investors as well, and a lot of people who are looking at the idea of this from a branding and a network effect. Because although the idea of decentralization in theory, segregating servers works, we all know that these servers can be owned by the same entities. They can be compromised, and that in the finality of the thing, I think that these cryptocurrencies really have to have a use case that people can identify with and are using it, and not just this obscure idea of, well, it's a type of gold and it is on this immutable ledger. And whereas that does sound great, it doesn't necessarily resonate with masses of people who are using currencies every day to better their lives, to get access to food, water, and shelter, and all these very important things that are going to attract people who need to use these cryptocurrencies for them to actually have significant use. But that's all I want to say in this video. Want to remind you, join the Btcmyk.com project. It's like the Bitcoin for Circle project, the Universal Basic Income project. It's multi-chain as well. It is built to be a mass adoption vehicle in the cryptocurrency, and it's built to create economic prosperity for the world. So make sure you join. It's absolutely free. I think you'll be glad that you did. But that's all I want to say in this video. If you like content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and until next time, as always, take care.